What if I told you the stories you tell yourself every single day are shaping every single part of your life, from your relationships to your career, and even how you feel about yourself? Most of us live on autopilot, controlled by beliefs we've picked up over the years. Beliefs that sometimes aren't even true. In this video, we're going to break that cycle. We'll dive into the science of how these beliefs form, how to question and rewrite them, and why science, philosophy, and even spirituality agree on this. Your internal world creates your external reality. I'll also share how challenging one of my biggest limiting beliefs completely changed my life, and I'll give you practical tools to start rewriting your story today. Let's rewrite the story together. My name is Joe Mark Concepcion. Welcome to Life on Purpose. Now let's start with science. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself in a process called neuroplasticity. There's a popular phrase in neuroscience that says, neurons that fire together, wire together. When you think or do something repeatedly, your brain strengthens the connection between those neurons. Over time, this creates a mental shortcut. For example, let's think about brushing your teeth. When you were a kid, it was clumsy and awkward to do so. Your brain was learning that task, but now it's automatic, or at least it should be. That same process applies to your beliefs. If you repeatedly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, your brain strengthens that pathway until it feels like it's the truth. But here's the key. The same process works in reverse. When you challenge and replace a belief, you can rewire your brain to support a new and empowering truth. As philosophers like Descartes and Marcus Aurelius remind us, our lives are shaped by the stories we believe. The Stoics taught that it's not external events that disturb us, but our perception of them. What you believe about yourself and the world determines how you experience the world. And here's something powerful to remember. Sometimes the stories we live by aren't even ours. They're someone else's. The moment you realize that, you gain the power to rewrite the story. Most major religions and spiritual traditions agree on this universal truth. Your internal world creates your external reality. What you think, believe, and feel manifests itself in your life. Jesus taught that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The Buddha said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Even modern spirituality echoes this idea. Your external life is a hologram of your internal world. Change your mind and you change your life. I want to share a personal story to show you how this works. For most of my life, I believe that in order to succeed, I had to work harder than everyone else. Growing up, I was taught to be the hardest worker in the room. I was told that success only comes to those who grind relentlessly. And so I built my life around work. I would wake up early, stay up late, and take pride in just being busy. I thought it was the only way to succeed in the world. But here's what I didn't realize. That belief, I need to work harder to be successful, was absolutely controlling my life. It wasn't the truth. It was just a belief that I had. This year, I started questioning that belief. I asked myself, is this really true, or is it just a story I've been living by? And that question changed everything. I realized I could work smarter, not harder. You know, the cliche saying. I began implementing systems, leveraging tools like technology and AI, and focusing on intentional growth rather than just constantly grinding all the time. And the result? Well, I've created more freedom for myself to spend time with my family, practice golf, create new content, and go out and see new places. And the craziest part? My business is growing. My income hasn't suffered. It's actually beginning to thrive more than ever before. I was living someone else's story of work harder or you'll fail. And that story actually came from people that I love. Once I let go of it, I was free to write my own new story, one that works for me. And so how do you overcome these limiting beliefs, right? I'm going to give you a few steps on how to be able to overcome the limiting beliefs no matter what aspect it is in your life, to be able to start firing new neurons together so they can wire together. Step 1, identify the belief. Here's how to uncover your limiting beliefs. Look at areas of your life where you feel stuck or frustrated. Write down the thoughts that come up when you imagine making a change. Pay attention to repeating patterns. For example, if you want to start a business but keep thinking, I don't have enough money, well, that's a limiting belief. Writing it down makes it tangible. Now it's not your identity, it's just a thought. So put the words down, put it on paper so you can separate the thought from yourself and you can see that it is literally just words. And then we'll move on to step 2, which is question its truth. Once you identify the belief, question it like you would a skeptical friend and ask, where did this belief even come from? Who gave me this idea? And do I agree with them? And what evidence proves this belief wrong? For example, if your belief is, I'm not smart enough to succeed, ask yourself, have I ever learned something new and succeeded before? And the answer will always be yes. You have done many things in your life and you've succeeded at them. But when you succeeded at those things, it's just simply because you believed you could. And it's the same thing with these limiting beliefs. You have to prove to yourself that you can, and the only way to prove to yourself that you can is by taking action. Do other successful people have the same doubts but push through them? Yes. Is this belief helping me or is it holding me back? It's probably holding me back. And when you start talking to yourself this way and you start to answer yourself, you start to realize again that these thoughts are just that. They're just thoughts. They're not you. They're just thoughts that are going through your head, and they've gone through your head so many times that they harden into what you believe are facts, when in turn, they're not facts. They're just beliefs. Now let's take a common belief. I'm not ready to pursue my dream. Who says you're not ready? Readiness isn't a destination, it is just a decision. If you're waiting to feel 100% prepared, you might wait forever. I'm gonna give you one sentence that has helped me just carry on through so many days, and it is, action creates clarity, not the other way around. The third step is replace it with an empowering truth. Here's how to rewrite your story. Let's take the limiting belief and flip it into a positive, actionable truth. I don't have enough money becomes, I can start small and grow step by step. I'm not ready becomes, I have everything I need to take the first step. Reinforce it daily. Write it on sticky notes, say it out loud, or keep it in your journal. Take small actions that align with your new belief. Even tiny steps build confidence and momentum. So let's say your belief is, I don't have enough time, flip it to, I can make time for what matters most. And then start by setting aside just 10 minutes every single day to work on your goal. Over time, those small actions rewire your brain to support a new belief. And here's what I want you to remember. Your life is a story and you are the author. Every belief you hold, whether empowering or limited, shapes your story. Science shows us that our thoughts literally reshape our brains. Philosophy reminds us that perception is everything. And spirituality teaches us that what we believe in our hearts creates our reality. For years, my story was, I have to work harder than everyone else to succeed. That story wasn't mine. It was given to me. But once I realized it, I realized that I could write a whole new story. So I'll ask you again, what story are you living by? Does it empower you or does it keep you stuck? If it's holding you back, you have the power to change it, because sometimes the stories we live by aren't ours. They're someone else's. But your life is yours to create. Write it on purpose. Take 10 minutes today. Identify one limiting belief. Question it, replace it with something empowering, and once you do that, share your new belief in the comments. I want to hear all about your breakthroughs. Remember, the story you tell yourself shapes the life you live, so make it one that serves you. My name is Joe Concepcion. Thank you for watching Life on Purpose.